Hello, my name is Chloe. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing to you my top 10 thriller TBR. So I posted a video a little while back that got a pretty good reception, and that was my top 10 contemporary TBR. So I decided to do the same thing for thriller books. If there is another category you guys would like to see, I'll definitely do it. But I feel like, yeah, I do have some fantasy, but the majority of my books are contemporary, and then I found a lot of thrillers. So if there's another group that you'd want to see that you think I might have at least 10 of, then let me know and I will do the video. But yeah, on the day that you're seeing this, I am down in London with some BookTube friends, so I just wanted to pre-film a bit of an easier video to do so that you guys still get the content and I don't need to stress about it too much while I'm away. Let's just jump right in. The first book I should have finished yesterday. Yes, yesterday. In terms of how I'm doing this buddy read, but it was on my list, and that is Someone We Know by Shari Lapina. So this one I am buddy reading with Connor from Connor's Library Corner this month, and it was a book I grabbed from Waterstones, signed for like £3 because the dust jacket was a little scuffed. So I was more than happy to find this one. There we go. Yeah, I've read The Couple Next Door by this author and kind of enjoyed it. I think I gave it 3.5 stars. So I wanted to give another of Shari Lapina's books a go. They seem like very mundane thrillers, like seemingly things that could happen to anyone is how I take the descriptions. So this one says, in a tranquil, leafy suburb of ordinary streets, one where everyone is polite and friendly, an anonymous note has been left at some of the houses. I'm so sorry, my son has been getting into people's houses. He's broken into yours. Who is this boy and what might he have uncovered? As whispers start to circulate, suspicion mounts. And when a missing local woman is found murdered, the tension reaches breaking point. Who killed her? Who knows more than they're telling? And how far will these very nice people go to protect their secrets? So at the point of filming, I haven't actually started this one, but I will be starting it very, very soon, and I'm excited to pick it up. Next, I have one that I got in my first ever A Box of Stories box, I think, and that is Bad Sister by Sam Carrington. This, I do want to read it, I just keep putting it off. Like, the colours are really cool, I like the pink and black on my shelf, but I just don't pick it up. I don't know why. So apologies, a lot of this will be reading the blurbs, but like I haven't read these, so I don't know much. So this says, when flames rip through their family home, only teenager Stephanie and her younger brother escape unhurt. Brett always liked to play with fire, but now their dad is dead and someone has to pay the price. Now, psychologist Connie Summers wants to help Stephanie rebuild her life. She has a new name, a young son, and everything to live for. But when Stephanie receives a letter from someone she'd hoped would never find her, Connie is forced to question what really happened that night. But some truths are best left alone. So it sounds so good. I love the cover. I love the pink. I have no excuses. I should also say I've presumed that this has come off the back of the contemporary TBR, but that's going to have been posted a while before this one at this stage. But these aren't books I'm going to be picking up immediately. These are just the next time I read a thriller, I want to come to these books. So hold me to that. The next one was actually from that same box. It is 11 Missed Calls by Elizabeth Carpenter, which I think I did read the first chapter and it didn't absolutely blow me away, but I feel like it could be a good book. Also, orange spine, love the spine up on my shelves. This is about Anna. So Anna has always believed that her mother Debbie died 30 years ago on the night she disappeared. But when her father receives a strange note, she realises she's never been told the full story of what happened that night on the cliff. Confused and upset, Anna turns to her husband Jack, but when she finds a love letter from another woman in his wallet, she realises there's no one left to help her, least of all her family, and then a body is found. So it does sound really, really good. I don't know what I read of it, it's completely gone from my brain. We had a quick clip from Debbie the mother in 1986, and then a chapter from Anna in the present day, and I can't remember anything about what I read at all. But it feels like it could be a really easy one and I'm just putting it off for no reason. Next, we actually have a gift from Kitty. This one was for my birthday, and this is The Night Swim by Megan Goldin. So this is about a podcast, I believe, a true crime podcast, which is why I really wanted it. And I also now have another one about a true crime podcast called If I Disappear. So I do really want to read, maybe I should read both of these at the same time. Don't know, maybe they'd be a bit too similar. But this says, Rachel Cruel is a household name, famous for her true crime podcast that set an innocent man free. Now she's back covering a devastating rape trial. A local golden boy stands accused. The victim is the granddaughter of the police chief in this close-knit town. But Rachel is distracted. Someone is leaving mysterious letters asking her to dig deep into the death of Jenny Stills. She drowned, but the letters insist it was a murder. The past and present start to collide as Rachel uncovers startling connections between the two cases, and a revelation that will change the course of the trial and the lives of everyone involved. It's time to find out the truth. So I absolutely love true crime podcasts, if you haven't heard that about me, and I do now have a true crime based book club. I don't know whether this is dark and scary and like weird enough to be one of my dark fiction picks. Maybe it is, I'm not quite sure. Maybe it is just because it relates to true crime in that way. I have heard really, really good things about this. I have no reason for not reading it yet. So in the next top 10. Next, I have not the most famous book by this author, but one I want to read first, and that is Watching You by Lisa Jewell. I'm really picking the brightest spines for this video. So I don't actually know anything about this one. I do have The Family Upstairs, which is the one that everyone else seems to have read first, but I got hold of this one first, so I wanted to read it first. It says, you're back home after 4 years of working abroad. You're keen to find a place of your own, but for now you're crashing in your big brother's spare room. And then you meet the man next door. He's the head teacher at the local school, twice your age, extraordinarily attractive. You find yourself watching him all the time. You never dreamed that your innocent crush might become a deadly obsession, or that somebody is watching you. That sounds really good. I really think that's the first time I've read that description, and maybe I'll bump this up my list. Next, I have a gift from the lovely Chelsea, and that is Friend Request by Laura Marshall. It does say on the front, the most addictive thriller you'll read this year, so I guess we will see. This gives me vibes of the movie with the same name, but I don't think that movie is related to this book at all. Well, I know it's not related to the book, but there are seemingly a lot of movies coming out with potentially dead people's Facebook profiles and like a haunting through Facebook, so it's giving me those vibes. This says, Maria Weston wants to be friends with me. Maybe that had been the problem all along. Maria Weston had wanted to be friends with me, but I let her down. She's been hovering at the edge of my consciousness for all of my adult life, although I've been good at keeping her out. Just a blurred shadow in the corner of my eye, almost but not quite out of sight. Maria Weston wants to be friends, but Maria Weston has been dead for more than 25 years. And I'm pretty sure that Chelsea kind of enjoyed this, but it didn't absolutely knock her socks off, so we will see what this one does for me. Next, we have What Lies Between Us by John Mars, which was a gift from Sarah. And I put this on my wish list because I read The One this year and absolutely loved it. It is one of my 2 favourite books of the year so far, so I definitely wanted to pick up another John Mars. Nina can never forgive Maggie for what she did, and she can never let her leave. They say every house has its secrets, and the house that Maggie and Nina have shared for so long is no different, except that these secrets are not buried in the past. Every other night, Maggie and Nina have dinner together. When they are finished, Nina helps Maggie back to her room in the attic and into the heavy chains that keep her there, because Maggie has done things to Nina that can't ever be forgiven, and now she is paying the price. But there are more things about the past that Nina doesn't know, and Maggie is going to keep it that way, even if it kills her. Because in this house, the truth is more dangerous than lies. And knowing how good John's writing was in The One, I can imagine that this is going to blow me away, and I think that's why I'm a bit daunted to read it, because I feel like it's going to be so good. Next, we have a very controversial one on BookTube for people having very different opinions, and that is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. Does anyone know? But this author has recently come out with The Maidens, which is getting much better reviews, I believe. But I never read this one when it got really big, so I've been holding on to the book, and since hearing very mixed reviews, I'm kind of not sure whether I want to give it a go, but I own it, so it's in the top 10 list. This says, Alicia Berenson lived a seemingly perfect life until one day 6 years ago, when she shot her husband in the head 5 times. Since then, she hasn't spoken a single word. It's time to find out why. And that's all we're given. So we're not even given much going in, and yeah, some people have said this is really boring, and some people said this completely blows their mind. So we will see where I fall on that scale. Next, we have Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. I have read a lot of Riley Sager's work and loved each one that I've read. Saying that, I've read Final Girls and Last Time I Lied. Maybe that's it. Okay, so those are the only two that were out when this one was printed, so I'm up to date to this one. But this one is about, I don't think I need to look at the back of this, I'll probably read it out anyway, but this is a girl who gets offered a job as a apartment sitter, but she's not allowed to leave the apartment or have guests. Don't know, we're gonna read it anyway. It says, no visitors, no nights spent away from the apartment, no disturbing the other residents. These are the only rules for Jules' new job as apartment sitter at the Bartholomew, one of Manhattan's most high-profile private buildings and home to the rich and famous. Recently heartbroken and practically homeless, Jules readily accepts the terms. When a neighbour confides the Bartholomew's dark history, Jules brushes it off as harmless ghost story, but the next day her new friend has vanished. And then Jules discovers that her friend is not the first resident to go missing. And I just love the eye in the door thingamabob. Sounds pretty cool. I loved Last Time I Lied and Final Girls, so I see no reason why I'm not going to enjoy this. And finally, the 10th book on my top 10 Thriller TBR is The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter. So this was gifted to me by the lovely Victoria, saying that I would definitely love it. Oh, it was congrats on reaching monetization. It's a massive milestone and so well deserved. So yeah, this was an absolutely lovely gift to get. It's a chonker. And I do think I'm going to make this a pick for Chloe's Crime Scene Corner because it's apparently really, really dark and disturbing and gory. So it fits the criteria for my book club. But this says, 28 years ago, Charlotte and Samantha Quinn's childhoods were destroyed by a terrifying attack on their family home. It left their mother dead, it left their father, a notorious defence attorney, devastated, and it left the family consumed by secrets from that shocking night. 28 years later, Charlie has followed in her father's footsteps to become a lawyer, but when violence comes to their hometown again, the case triggers memories she desperately tries to suppress, because the shocking truth about the crime which devastated her family won't stay buried forever. Victoria said I'd enjoy this. I think I would enjoy this. So yeah, top 10 list. So those are all the books on my top 10 Thriller TBR. Let me know if you've read any of these and if I should definitely read them. The ones I'm probably most interested on opinions are Bad Sister and 11 Missed Calls, just because I've never heard them talked about. And I guess that's why they were in a box of stories box, because they're not really high profile books. But if anyone has read them and enjoyed them, please do let me know, because I do want to get to them. I'm just put off for some reason. But yeah, I will stop rambling. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.